Hello dear students, myself Ranjana Wankhede, lecturer in Electrical Engineering Department, Government Polytechnic, Amravati. Today we are going to see all about the methods of triggering of SCR. Now what is triggering? Actually the turning on process of the SCR is known as triggering. It is nothing but the switching the SCR from off state to on state. That is known as the triggering or the method of firing. When the SCR switches from off state to on state, the moment it is turned on, then we say that the SCR is triggered or the SCR is fired. Okay. In other words, I can also say that turning the SCR from forward blocking state to forward conduction state is nothing but the triggering or firing. Now what are the different triggering methods of SCR? The first is the thermal or temperature triggering. The second is the radiation triggering. It is also known as the light triggering. The third one is the voltage triggering. It is known as the forward voltage triggering because the SCR always operates in the forward biased condition. It is never operated in reversed biased condition. We have seen in the voltage current characteristics of SCR. Then dV by dt triggering. It is nothing but rate of dV by dt is nothing but rate of rise of voltage. Then is the gate triggering. What is the forward voltage triggering? In this, when the voltage applied between the anode and cathode terminal, it is increased, then what will happen, since the SCR is in forward bias junction, so that is junction J1 and J3 forward biased and junction J2 is reversed biased. So on applying the voltage, what will happen? A stage will come that the reverse bias junction will vanish completely. The depletion layer will vanish completely, and this increase in the temperature to a certain value, what will happen? A situation will come that the reversed bias junction will collapse completely and it will allow the SCR to conduct. This method of triggering the SCR by heating is nothing but the voltage triggering method. Then is the thermal or temperature triggering. In this, when the voltage again applied between the anode and the cathode is nearer to the breakdown voltage, then the SCR is triggered by increasing the junction temperature. Again, by increasing the temperature to a certain value, then the reverse bias junction will collapse and it will allow the SCR to conduct. The thermal triggering method and the voltage triggering method both goes in parallel. Why I am saying this? Because when we are increasing the voltage, then the temperature, the SCR will get heated. Okay, and when the SCR is getting heated, means the temperature of the junction is increasing. So both the methods of thermal triggering and this voltage triggering goes in parallel. Then is the radiation or light triggering. In this method, actually the external energy is imparted by radiation. The SCR is bombarded by energy particles like neutrons or photons. The special terminal is used inside the inner P layer. Here you can see with the help of this arrow. Now when the light is allowed to strike this terminal, what will happen? Free charge carriers are generated in the SCR, which will increase the number of charge carriers, which will lead to instantaneous flow of current within the SCR. And when the intensity of the light becomes more than the normal value of SCR, then the SCR starts conducting. This type of SCR is called light activated silicon controlled rectifier. This type of triggering, that is radiation triggering, is used in LASCR and LASCS, that is light activated silicon controlled switch. Then the next is the dV by dt triggering. Again in this, when the SCR is forward biased, the junction J1 and J3 being forward biased and J2 is reversed biased. So when the rate of change of voltage across the SCR becomes large, then the SCR, it will turn on even if the voltage across the SCR is small. Then is the gate triggering. This is the most common method of triggering which is used in laboratories. Almost all the SCRs are triggered by this gate triggering method. In this, by applying a positive signal at the gate terminal of the SCR, it can be fired much before earlier. This method is the SCR triggering method commonly used, and in this a positive voltage is applied between gate and cathode, and it will turn on the SCR in the forward biased condition. For gate triggering, a signal is applied between the gate and the cathode of SCR. The three types of signals which are used in this are DC signals and pulse signals or AC signals. Here you can see the characteristics which shows the different gate currents IG1, IG2 and IG3. IG1 is the minimum gate current and IG3 is the maximum gate current. Then these are the different variations of gate current against the forward breakover voltages. Then the DC gate triggering. In DC gate triggering, a DC voltage of proper magnitude and polarity is applied between the gate and the cathode of the SCR. It is applied in such a way that the gate terminal will become positive with respect to cathode. When the applied voltage is sufficient to produce the required gate current, the SCR starts conducting. In this, the variable resistance R is used to limit the gate current. The main drawback or main disadvantage of this DC gate triggering is that a continuous DC signal has to be applied at the gate terminal, which causes the gate power loss. Then is the AC gate triggering. In this method, the variable resistance R is used to control the gate current. Depending upon the value of resistance, when the magnitude of the gate current reaches the sufficient value, that is the latching current of the device, and the latching current is nothing but the minimum current required to switch the SCR from off state to on state, and then the SCR will start conducting. Here in this you can see the diode D is connected in the circuit. This diode D is called as the blocking diode. This will prevent the gate cathode junction from getting damaged in the negative half cycle. Since here the current which we are applying in the circuit is alternating current, so the current will change its path from positive half to negative half cycle. As soon as it changes its path from positive half to negative half, it means the SCR will conduct in reverse biased condition, and we never allow the SCR to conduct in reverse biased condition. So for this purpose we need to block the negative current, and this is done by means of the diode D, which is called as the blocking diode. In this, the gate circuit is considered as the resistive one, so the gate current is in phase with the applied voltage. Again, by applying the pulse signal to the gate terminal of the SCR is triggered. The main disadvantage of this pulse gate triggering is that there is no need to apply continuous signals, so it will reduce the power losses at the gate terminal, because when we are applying one pulse signal to the gate terminal of the SCR, then the current will flow only for that particular moment. Then for next pulse signal, again the same process. So I can say that the current is not continuous. The current which is flowing in case of pulse gate triggering is nothing but intermittent in nature, and the most applied method of producing pulses for gate triggering is by means of an UJT relaxation oscillator, and UJT is nothing but uni-junction transistor. So we have studied all about the different methods of triggering of the SCR. Quickly I will summarize. First is the voltage triggering, then thermal triggering or temperature triggering, then the radiation triggering or light triggering, dV by dt triggering, and gate triggering. In gate triggering, DC gate triggering, AC gate triggering, and pulse gate triggering. I hope you all have understood this. Thank you.